Texas is among several states suing the Biden administration over COVID-19 vaccine mandates. The case is taking center stage in the Supreme Court Friday.
Governor Abbott came out here to Anzalduas Park with 10 other governors, all from across the country, to discuss immigration. That group came up with a 10-step plan. They say the Biden administration
with Ted Cruz. Now, if the Biden administration doesn't respond to this, how do you and other state officials plan to move forward?
So right after the press conference, I was able to ask the governor a question myself about what they're going to do if the president or the administration refuses to respond to their call to action. He told me they're just going to keep using state resources to do what they say the federal government is not doing.
We are still asking questions this morning about why a murder charge was filed against Lizelle Herrera and then dropped. Herrera was initially charged for what the Starr County Sheriff's Office calls a self-induced abortion. The district attorney formally dropped the charge, saying Herrera did not commit a crime under state law. But the community and advocates now want to know why she was arrested and charged in the first place.
Beto O'Rourke supporters plan to gather here tonight. Now, we know this time around, Beto plans to hit hard with energy policies and job creation. Now, he tends to be pretty popular in border communities. The last time he challenged Senator Ted Cruz for his position, he won Hidalgo County with 69% of the votes. However, we know he lost that election in the end.
Now that more young people own cell phones, it's important that parents know how to handle that cyberbullying. According to DoSomething.org, 37% of teens have been bullied online. If your child is being cyberbullied, they'll likely show signs including hiding their screen from others and avoiding conversations about it. An early morning fire at Stefano's Brooklyn Pizza in Harlingen has left the beloved location in ashes. Local 23's Kaylee Olivas joins us live. Kaylee, firefighters are still on scene working to tame those flames.
Welcome back, you guys, to Local 23 today. We are live at BorderFest 2022. Lots of excitement, a little bit of drizzle. I'm joined by our reporter, Xochitl Lagunas, who's here to chat about one of the big headliners and talk about sticking to their roots. Tonight, they're playing at the Palm View High School prom. So these kids are going to get a pretty good show. And one of the musicians says his niece and nephew actually attend the high school. So it's really exciting. It's pretty cool. Lots of locals attending BorderFest. So I think everybody's excited as long as this drizzle goes away. BorderFest has actually attracted artists like Selena Gomez and George Strait. So if you're a Texan, you love those artists. They tend to bring in some pretty big names, and they're hoping to top that this year with Mark Anthony. And the fact that they've already sold out Payne Arena tells me that they're doing a pretty good job. Sydney, if you haven't made plans to be out here, I might have to drag you out here tonight. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Local 23 today. I'm Brenda Matute. Now, the set looks a little different. That's because Sydney Gray and meteorologist Chris Ramirez are joining us live from the 83rd RGV Livestock Show and Rodeo this morning. They look so good in those get-ups, you guys. Before we get to that team coverage, though, Chris, all right, hold on, guys, while I pull out my invisible lasso, because it is almost time to rodeo. Okay, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo finally releases that musical lineup for this year. One of my favorites, Cody Johnson. In international breaking news, China has canceled plans to sell tickets to the public for the 2020 Winter Olympic Games as the number of COVID cases rise in the country. Organizers had promised to allow domestic fans this winter, but those plans have now been scrapped 3 weeks before the games are set to open. Beautiful outside, guys. BorderFest is going to be super exciting, so come out and join us. We'll be out here eating funnel cake and enjoying the live music. If you recently did some online shopping, you may have paid a little extra for shipping. Seems like we're all stretching our dollars pretty thin lately. Local mail services are raising their prices. I sat down with a local entrepreneur who tells me it's all now affecting her business.
You buy something and then you see the shipping, is like, oh my God, it's costing more than the product.
If you're an avid online shopper, you likely experience something similar. You're buying a cute outfit online, and right before you confirm the purchase, you realize the shipping cost is just too high to justify. And instead, you leave the cart waiting for the next time.
I'm guilty of it, and I don't blame my customers for doing it.
Vanessa Mandujano, owner of Shadeness and More in Brownsville, sells t-shirts, glasses, and beauty products, then ships them out all over the country. But as shipping costs soar, she says her profits are beginning to shrink.
We have a set weight for each product, and that's how I come out with shipping. I always see myself as a customer. I wouldn't want to pay so much for something.
The United States Postal Service raised prices this year. Other mail carriers are now following suit. As of March 1st, the UPS store in Weslaco is charging a $1.50 fee to any customer who brings in a package without the wrapping or tape needed to ship it out. And FedEx will implement a fuel surcharge starting April 4th.
Gas prices, I feel like it's really affected us because as the prices are going up, the customers have to waste more money on gas, so they have less money to spend on miscellaneous stuff.
For now, Mandujano is setting aside the heavier items in her store to help keep costs down. And she's putting less in her pocket so people can still freshen up their closets.
Just give back to your community and let's all just stick together and hope, our prices go down soon.
The energy has been huge.
This year, obviously, everybody's excited. You guys were canceled because of the pandemic. What are you guys looking forward to this year?
We're just very, very happy to be back. This is such an original event for Brownsville. The music, the energy, the people, the spirit, everything going on in here.
Usually I get a little bit fluff, get the whiskers going, but not this time.
For someone who's never attended Sombrero Festival, what is the Beard Posse?
Gentlemen are supposed to grow a fresh cut beard from January 1st till Charo Days. If you don't have a beard, we have a jail that we drive around town and we arrest people to basically get their mordidas or their bribes for the fundraisers for the Brownsville Historical Association. How do you get out of jail? You got to pay your bribe. You got to pay your bribe.
While the games are getting set up over here, the real fun begins under this tent when Frijo Olympics kick off. And if you have a little too much pica, you might need a little drinka.
The big tent is the opposite side of the park from the main stage, and they're two completely different worlds. Yeah, I'm not big on norteño or tejano music, but the music under the big tent I love. You've got your classic rock, you've got Latin jazz, you've got some country.
You guys made a little bit of changes because of the pandemic, and you guys want to keep people safe. Tell me a little bit about what you've done.
Here on the grounds, we've eliminated some of the areas where people would normally congregate in enclosed spaces. Part of that is removing the big VIP tent in front of the main stage and one of the beer booths in front of the main stage.
All right, it's going to be a good time out there tonight. Sydney and I will be at the Charo Days Illuminated Parade. That kicks off at 7 p.m.